Appearance is everything to the narcissist. Have you ever encountered someone who seemed obsessed with how they looked, how others perceived them, or how their image was portrayed? A person whose entire identity seemed to revolve around their external appearance and the way others saw them. If you've ever dealt with a narcissist, you know exactly what that's like. Narcissists are often criticized for their shallow nature and self-obsession, but what is really at the core of their constant need for admiration and attention? The answer, surprisingly, lies in their obsession with appearance. Whether it's physical appearance, social status, or how they present themselves to the world, narcissists live and breathe for one thing: maintaining a flawless exterior that hides their deep insecurities. So, why is appearance everything to the narcissist? And how does this obsession affect not only them, but also everyone around them? In this video, we'll explore the intricate ways in which a narcissist's self-worth is entirely tied to their image, and why this obsession can be both their greatest strength and their ultimate downfall. Keep reading, because understanding the role of appearance in a narcissist's life will give you key insights into how they manipulate, control, and even destroy the relationships they claim to value. Now, let's dive into the fascinating and complex world of narcissism and discover why a narcissist's fixation on image is not just a superficial trait, but the very foundation of their identity. If this topic interests you, make sure to subscribe, like, and share, because this conversation will change the way you view narcissism forever. The root of the obsession: a fragile ego. At the core of the narcissistic personality is a fragile ego. While narcissists present themselves as confident, self-assured individuals who seem to have it all together, the truth is far different. Beneath the surface, they are often deeply insecure, constantly fearing that they are not as special or important as they portray themselves to be. To protect themselves from these feelings of inadequacy, they build a false self, one that is polished, perfect, and admired by others. This is where the obsession with appearance stems from. For a narcissist, the image they project to the world is everything. If their external appearance is flawless, if they are admired by others, and if their social status is elevated, then they feel validated. They cling to these things to mask their inner turmoil and maintain the illusion that they are superior. This fixation on appearance is not just about looking good. It's about being seen as exceptional, unique, and deserving of admiration. A narcissist's self-worth is entirely tied to how others perceive them, and so they go to great lengths to curate a life that reflects their idealized image. Whether it's their physical appearance, their social media presence, or their professional success, the narcissist is constantly crafting an image that commands attention and respect. The more they can make others see them as flawless, the more they can distance themselves from the feelings of inadequacy and shame that haunt them. The role of physical appearance. One of the most obvious ways a narcissist's obsession with appearance manifests is through their physical image. Narcissists are often meticulous about their looks, whether it's their clothing, grooming, or overall aesthetic. They may spend an excessive amount of time and money on their appearance, always ensuring they look their best. This attention to detail serves a dual purpose. Not only do they want to be admired for their physical beauty or charm, but they also use their appearance as a tool for power and control. The narcissist knows that looking good can open doors, whether it's getting a promotion at work, attracting admirers, or gaining social approval. For the narcissist, appearance is often about more than just vanity. It's a survival mechanism. They use their looks as armor, a way to protect themselves from the vulnerabilities they refuse to acknowledge. If they can control how others see them, they feel they can control how they are treated. A narcissist may become obsessed with their body image, sometimes going to extreme lengths to maintain a certain look. This may include excessive dieting, cosmetic surgery, or spending hours at the gym, all with the aim of creating the perfect outward image. Social status and image management. But appearance for a narcissist is not just about their physical form, it's also about their social status. Narcissists carefully curate their social lives to ensure they are surrounded by people who enhance their image. They are often drawn to high-status individuals or environments that reflect wealth, success, and influence. This desire for social validation can lead them to engage in name-dropping, exaggerating their accomplishments, or even pretending to be friends with high-profile individuals to appear more important than they actually are. Their social media presence is another prime example of how they manage their image. Narcissists often post carefully selected photos and updates, showcasing a life that appears perfect. The number of followers, likes, and comments becomes a reflection of their worth. For them, these digital markers of success are essential for maintaining their self-esteem. They will manipulate their online persona to appear as flawless as possible, crafting a narrative that fits their desired image of being admired, envied, and desired. Manipulation and control through appearance. Narcissists often use their image as a tool for manipulation. They understand that people are drawn to those who appear successful, attractive, and charismatic. This knowledge allows them to control how they are perceived, and in turn, control the people around them. When a narcissist enters a room, they want all eyes on them. They will do whatever it takes to ensure they stand out and are the center of attention. This might mean showing off, telling exaggerated stories of their success, or making sure others know how important they are. However, the narcissist's obsession with appearance also leads them to engage in toxic behaviors in relationships. They may constantly demand admiration from those around them, expecting others to praise them for their looks, achievements, or lifestyle. If someone challenges their image or doesn't provide the validation they crave, the narcissist may become hostile, defensive, or withdraw completely. The narcissist's self-worth is tied to how others perceive them, and any threat to their image feels like a personal attack. In this way, narcissists use their appearance as both a shield and a weapon. The cost of the obsession: emotional and psychological consequences. While the narcissist may appear to be in control, the truth is that their obsession with appearance comes at a high emotional and psychological cost. The constant need for validation can be exhausting, both for the narcissist and for those around them. Their superficial focus on external image often leaves them disconnected from their true selves and from meaningful, authentic relationships. They may struggle with feelings of emptiness and isolation, even as they maintain an outwardly perfect life. Furthermore, the narcissist's obsession with appearance often leads to a lack of emotional depth. Because they are so focused on how they are seen by others, they may neglect their inner emotional world, leaving them unable to form deep, genuine connections. The people they surround themselves with often become mere tools for maintaining their image, and when those people fail to comply with the narcissist's expectations, they are discarded without a second thought. Why this obsession will ultimately lead to their downfall. Despite the narcissist's constant efforts to control their image, this obsession with appearance will inevitably lead to their downfall. The very thing they cling to for validation, being seen as perfect, becomes their greatest vulnerability. People eventually see through the facade. Over time, the narcissist's inability to maintain genuine connections, their manipulative tactics, and their shallow existence catch up with them. The more they focus on external appearances, the less they develop emotionally, and the more disconnected they become from reality. In relationships, the narcissist's obsession with appearances often causes irreparable damage. Partners, friends, and even colleagues grow weary of the constant need for validation and admiration. As the narcissist's true nature becomes more apparent, those around them begin to withdraw, leaving the narcissist isolated and alone. Eventually, the image they have worked so hard to cultivate starts to crumble, and they are left facing the emptiness they tried so hard to hide. Understanding why appearance is everything to the narcissist offers valuable insight into their behavior, manipulation, and ultimately their downfall. Their entire sense of self-worth is built on how they are perceived, and this dependence on external validation is both their strength and their greatest weakness. For those of us who interact with narcissists, it's essential to recognize the importance they place on appearances and understand the ways they use this obsession to control their environment. But it's also important to remember that in the end, the narcissist's inability to nurture authentic relationships and their shallow focus on image will lead to their eventual loneliness and isolation. Thank you for watching and joining me on this deep dive into the world of narcissism. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content that explores the complexities of human behavior. We'll see you in the next discussion. When the narcissist doesn't appreciate you anymore, try these simple tricks and see what happens. If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, whether it's a romantic partnership, friendship, or even a workplace dynamic, you might have experienced that gut-wrenching feeling when you realize that the admiration, attention, and appreciation you once received have suddenly vanished. At first, it might not seem like a big deal. Perhaps they're just busy or going through a phase. But then it becomes clear. The narcissist no longer sees you as the valuable person they once did. They're distant, indifferent, and maybe even downright dismissive. If you've been left wondering how to handle the coldness, the lack of appreciation, and the emotional abandonment, you're not alone. What happens next? What do you do when the narcissist stops appreciating you? In this video, we will explore simple but effective strategies you can try when faced with this situation. While these tricks won't magically change a narcissist overnight, they can help you regain a sense of control over your emotions, your boundaries, and your relationship with them. You might be thinking, why should I even bother? The truth is, while narcissists thrive on control, manipulation, and admiration, they also fear losing their sources of supply, those people who give them the attention and validation they crave. This fear of losing their supply is a powerful motivator that can lead to surprising changes in behavior, especially if you know how to trigger the right responses. But before we dive into the tricks that might just shake things up, let's take a closer look at why narcissists stop appreciating others in the first place. Understanding this underlying dynamic will make it easier to navigate the situation and choose the right strategies. Alright, now that we've set the stage, let's talk about what really happens when a narcissist stops appreciating you. To understand why this shift happens, you need to first recognize that narcissists are driven by a deep need for admiration and validation. They place their sense of self-worth entirely on how others perceive them. If you've been their source of admiration, attention, or validation, the moment you stop giving them what they crave, they may start distancing themselves or acting out. But here's the twist. Narcissists don't always understand that their lack of appreciation has consequences. In fact, they may even see it as a challenge to their authority or importance. This is where things get interesting. When a narcissist realizes they no longer have the same power over you, they may react in one of several ways. Some may resort to trying to manipulate you back into their orbit, while others may become indifferent or dismissive, as though they don't care. However, they are almost always watching, monitoring your reactions, and trying to assess how much power they'd lost. In this moment, it's crucial to remember one thing: you have control over how you respond, and your reactions can change the dynamic entirely. So, what do you do when a narcissist no longer appreciates you, or worse, takes you for granted? Let's talk about a few simple tricks that can shift the power dynamic and make a significant difference in how you feel about yourself and your relationship with them. The first trick is establishing boundaries with clarity and consistency. When narcissists stop appreciating you, it often signals a deeper issue. They have crossed boundaries or taken advantage of your kindness, time, and energy. This is when you need to stand firm. Establish clear boundaries that protect your emotional well-being and communicate them assertively. For instance, if they demand your attention but dismiss your feelings, calmly but firmly tell them that you will not tolerate this behavior. Something as simple as saying, "I need respect in this relationship," or "I won't engage in this conversation if you continue to belittle me," can send a powerful message that you are not to be ignored or mistreated. Narcissists fear losing control, and when they see that you're setting boundaries they can't easily bypass, it throws them off their game. Another trick is detaching emotionally. Narcissists feed off emotional reactions, whether positive or negative. They rely on your energy to fuel their sense of superiority, and they can sense when you're emotionally invested in them. When they stop appreciating you, it's a sign that you've been overgiving, emotionally invested, without receiving the same in return. To regain balance, you need to detach emotionally. This doesn't mean shutting yourself off entirely, but rather taking a step back from their manipulation and focusing on your own needs and feelings. Try to approach the relationship from a more neutral standpoint. Don't invest in their emotional highs and lows. When they see you becoming more independent emotionally, it often forces them to question their influence over you. Limit your availability. One of the most powerful tools you can use when a narcissist doesn't appreciate you is simply becoming less available to them. Narcissists often take those who are always available for granted, assuming that they will always have access to your time and attention. When you start setting limits on when and how you engage with them, it forces them to reevaluate the power dynamic. This doesn't mean you should play games or deliberately withdraw for manipulation's sake. It means you're taking control of your time and energy. You don't have to be constantly on call for them, and by taking a step back, you subtly communicate that your attention is a privilege, not a given. Give them a taste of their own medicine. This might sound a bit counterintuitive, but sometimes the best way to deal with a narcissist's lack of appreciation is to mirror their behavior. Narcissists often engage in behaviors like ignoring you, being dismissive, or withholding affection as a form of control. By gently reflecting their behavior, you send a clear signal that their actions have consequences. If they stop appreciating you, stop showing them the same level of attention. Withdraw your compliments, your energy, and your time. While this may seem petty, it can force the narcissist to confront their own behavior, and in some cases, make them realize that their actions have led to the loss of someone important in their life. Find your own validation. This trick is perhaps the most crucial. When a narcissist stops appreciating you, it's easy to fall into the trap of seeking validation from them. But remember, narcissists are not capable of offering the kind of genuine, healthy validation you deserve. Instead, shift your focus inward. Cultivate self-validation and invest time in activities, hobbies, and relationships that nurture your self-worth. When you no longer need external validation to feel good about yourself, you will stop feeling dependent on the narcissist's approval. This shift not only strengthens your sense of self, but also puts you in a position of power, because you no longer rely on their fluctuating admiration to feel worthy. The final trick is don't chase them. Narcissists thrive on the chase. They enjoy the power of knowing that someone will always come running when they pull away. So when they stop appreciating you, resist the urge to chase after their approval. Don't beg for attention or apologize for their behavior. Instead, stand firm and let them come to you. The moment they see you no longer need their validation, they may start to feel a sense of loss, which can prompt them to reassess their actions and possibly even come back with a more appreciative attitude. So, there you have it. Some simple but effective tricks you can try when the narcissist in your life stops appreciating you. It's important to understand that narcissists are complex individuals who crave control, admiration, and validation. When they stop appreciating you, it's not necessarily about you. It's about their own inability to give or receive true love and respect. The tricks we discussed aren't designed to change them overnight, but they can help you reclaim your power and stop the cycle of self-sacrifice and emotional neglect. By setting boundaries, detaching emotionally, limiting your availability, and finding your own validation, you are taking back control of your life. Ultimately, remember that you deserve to be appreciated and valued for who you are, not just for what you can give. Thanks so much for reading. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who might benefit from this insight. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Until next time, stay empowered and protect your emotional well-being. A narcissist's end game. What to expect. Have you ever been swept off your feet by someone who seemed almost perfect, only to find yourself questioning their motives as time went on? In the beginning, everything feels enchanting. The narcissist, with their charm and charisma, may seem like the ideal partner or friend, offering you all the attention, praise, and admiration that you've been longing for. The relationship feels intoxicating, and you're convinced that you found someone special, someone who truly values you. However, as time passes, you begin to notice subtle changes. The compliments start to feel hollow, the emotional connection weakens, and you find yourself wondering if the narcissist truly cares about you at all. If you've ever been in a relationship with a narcissist, you may have found yourself asking, what happens when their charm fades? What is their true end game, and how does it unfold? This is the reality for many people who have been in close relationships with narcissists. While narcissists can initially be captivating, their relationships often follow a predictable and disturbing pattern. The truth is, narcissists don't form relationships in the same way healthy individuals do. Their end game is typically focused on maintaining their sense of superiority and control, while constantly seeking validation from others. But when that validation begins to fade, and their carefully constructed image begins to crumble, the narcissist's behavior shifts dramatically. So what exactly happens when a narcissist feels threatened, or when their image is no longer reinforced by others? The answer lies in understanding the psychology of narcissism and how it manifests in the narcissist's pursuit of power, control, and admiration.